Oke, Charlene, good evening. Thank you for being here ya.
Thank you for having me.
Oke, now we are going to talk something about college life. As we know, kan lu udah kerja sebenarnya kan, tapi kita
Belum lama banget malah.
makanya kita
Malah pas dibilang, it'll be about college, I had to think it's almost a decade ago loh ternyata.
Oh iya,
That I
bener.
started college. Lumayan lama.
Hampir 10 tahun ya. Waktu itu masuk kuliah tahun berapa itu ya?
2011.
Oh, 2011.
Udah 9 tahun.
Almost 10 years ya.
Almost a decade, yes.
Oh gila
Exactly.
juga. Tapi nggak apa-apa lah ya, masih relevan juga kan information yang mau dikasih ya.
Supposed to be masih.
Iya dong. Oke, nah waktu itu kuliahnya di mana? Di Purdue ya?
Yes sir.
Purdue University. Itu di negara bagian mana tuh?
Indiana.
Oke.
Di Midwest. It's near Indianapolis. Kalau kotanya sendiri near Indianapolis, about an hour drive.
Oke.
Kalau ke Chicago juga sekitar 2 jam lah.
2 jam. Itu by the road ya?
Iya, drive.
Oke. Nah terus kemarin jurusan ngambil apa?
Ngambil finance and management. Jadi 2.
Oh, double degree begitu atau?
Double degree. Double major sih. Kalau degree kan it's still the same. It's still a bachelor's degree. Tapi I majored in 2 different majors. Sebenarnya the only difference is that kalau finance you add a lot more finance classes. Jadi whereas kalau management you still take the core classes that you will take for finance but without the additional advanced finance lah. Kayak misalnya kalau management more on the investment management, office management, whereas kalau the finance major itself you get to add classes kayak advanced corporate finance, money and banking, financial math, and all the stuff. Yeah.
But mostly management is about theories, right?
Yes, kalau management is heavy on the theories, qualitative stuff. Where although ada sih yang benar-benar quantitative juga, such as operations, but yes, it hinges upon a lot of theories.
Tapi
whereas
kebanyakan
kalau finance, when I had to take financial math, it's like heavy. Heavy math ya.
Pokoknya ngitung-ngitung segala macam tentang investment and money segala macam kan kalau di finance. Iya. Terus kepikiran ngambil jurusan tersebut tuh, 2 majors itu gimana? Maksudnya decision sendiri atau ada influence dari parents?
I think not parents directly, although pasti ya kalau dari parents anak mana sih yang their life nggak influenced to a certain extent by parents.
That
Pasti
is
kan ada
correct.
some influence because you grow up in the environment. Tapi I think in general, family in general, environment in general sort of drove that. Karena I did have, kalau dulu tuh kan I was considering either engineering atau finance. Tapi what I see was a lot of people that come out of engineering itself and end up working in investment banking. Jadi I thought ya udahlah, why not? And just go ahead direct ke finance aja gitu. Jadi daripada sakit kepala double, satu aja lah udah langsung jalan lurus. Coba kita belok-belok.
Tapi waktu high school itu di science atau sosial?
Science.
Sama kayak waktu itu juga.
Our school at the time was small enough. Angkatannya tuh was small enough that we only had 2 classes. And 2 classes, all of which were all in natural science. Jadi bahkan gak IPS. Benar-benar semua IPA.
Back then there was no social class ya?
Back then it was offered, tapi banyak yang
nobody took it.
Seangkatan itu malah lulusnya jadi dokter. Jadi everyone emang udah IPA. Well, let's do IPA, I guess.
Iya, karena tendensinya gitu ya. Kebanyakan mereka yang di science itu kuliahnya juga nggak jauh-jauh dari economics, bisnis, finance. Jadi maksudnya pertanyaannya adalah, is that really matter whenever you're in high school? Kalau misalkan jurusan science or social itu menentukan atau enggak sih sebenarnya untuk di kuliah gitu?
I think in the end it comes back to the person kan.
Itu betul.
What I see patternnya tuh bahkan dari orang-orang yang lulus dari SMA-nya IPA, pas ambil kuliahnya itu engineering or some other form of science or something yang benar-benar STEM based lah, science, technology, engineering, or math based majors end up working in.
Jadi gimana?
So for me about relevance, right? I think somehow there will always be some sort of relevance. Mungkin kalau dari science ke social, or science to like finance eventually, or banking or whatever. I think the relevance would be might not necessarily be technical, but it would be something like, you have stronger analytical
betul.
mind or something like that. Not necessarily technical, but I think there will always be some sort of relevance. Although, as I mentioned, in order for you to go, the only from one side to another, if I might say, is have that sort of kayak kemauan diri sendiri lah ya. Semuanya possible, relevant pun nggak relevant pun, if you don't see any relevance. Although I do see it, but yang penting ada kemauan untuk take that extra step to belajar. It's really really possible.
Iya sih. Soalnya emang kalau misalkan dari science and then dia tuh ambil kayak jurusan business major gitu, accounting, mungkin lebih kuat di logical thinkingnya ya.
Iya.
Jadi accounting itu sebenarnya nggak susah, tapi kadang-kadang itu membutuhkan sebuah kemampuan logical thinking yang cukup tinggi, dan kebanyakan murid-murid dari science itu mereka mempunyai modal yang cukup kan, karena sudah dipusingkan dengan fisik, chemistry, sama matematika yang logical thinkingnya tuh membutuhkan yang tinggi juga gitu. Tapi ya makanya ya fair aja lah ya.
Fair aja sih. So again, I think mau dibilang relevan gak relevan pun kalau dari sisi pelajaran, tapi ya kalau emang ada kemauan untuk belajar ekstra atau merasa if you see the positive in it, bisa-bisa aja. I did it and I managed to survive.
Dan banyak juga yang lain juga bisa kan.
Banyak juga, emang banyak banget bahkan.
Oke, terus kenapa pilih Purdue?
So kalau proses application ke US itu typically kan you start earlier, right? About a year before you come in. Yeah, August to August. And during that time when you apply, there are different list of schools that you can apply to at one go. Jadi bisa pilih. Purdue is just so happen to be one of the schools that I apply to, and I know because ada saudara family member lah yang pernah di situ.
Jadi ada rekomendasi sedikit ya.
Yeah, tapi in essence there are multiple different schools that I applied to. Just so happen I know the school, so I applied there. And I know that.
Jadi nggak memang dia bukan first choice ya?
Kalaupun mau dibilang first choice, not necessarily, but it's still a choice. Jadi kalau for us, we can pick from a list. There's this application called Common App that you apply and you just pick the schools that you want to go to and you think you would want to apply to. Dulu Purdue masih belum sih dimasuk situ. Sekarang I think Purdue is within the Common App. Dulu terpisah, tapi it's one of the schools that I want to apply to. I don't think I can rank the schools by rankings. I don't even remember what schools I applied to at the time, but Purdue was one of them.
Terus preparationnya apa aja nih? Kan dibilang dari August to August. Nah, 1 year preparationnya itu apa aja sampai bisa ke sana?
So August typically application udah buka. Sebenarnya preparation starts even way before that. Jadi the year before tuh udah ngambil
SAT ya?
SAT prep. Udah benar-benar focus on studying. Itu udah trying to take it multiple times. I took mine 3 times just to improve the grade. Although memang marginally you don't improve that much as you take it, tapi there's some sort of improvement, and typically it's good for schools ya untuk ngeliat bahwa wah nih orang lu bener-bener ternyata lumayan ini ya, persistent juga ya. Berusaha untuk naik gitu. So definitely the SAT. I have to admit I didn't put as much effort to TOEFL and IELTS. I was lucky enough karena I went to an international school lah ya. Jadi it's not something that I think it was in the bag. So but itu benar-benar definitely something that you should prepare for. Other than that, you should also be prepared to write long essays and a lot of essays.
Oh ya?
Karena as part of the application, each school tuh typically kan have their own sets of essays.
Iya.
And it's different from every school. Except the Common App itself, if I remember correctly, they have the Common App essay, which is the uniform essay yang buat tiap sekolah yang menggunakan portal aplikasi tersebut. Tapi setelah itu pas masuk ke setiap sekolahnya itself, ada juga essay per sekolah yang pertanyaannya beda-beda. For example, I applied to Notre Dame. Notre Dame is a Catholic university. Jadi pertanyaannya tuh benar-benar steered towards, I think, spirituality or religion. Yeah, I can still remember it asked me, how do you take your time to step back and contemplate on things? Or where do you do this? Why do you do this? How often do you do this? Where else in another school tuh paling nanya, oh, what part of a community are you in? And how do you impact that community? So each school has their own different essays on top of, kalau di dalam portal Common App ya, kalau sekolah ini menggunakan portal tersebut, biasanya tuh nanti ada juga satu essay atau dua essay yang uniform across all these schools. Tapi each school juga ada. So a lot of essays and long essays.
Oh, jadi mostly itu kayak self-reflection begitu ya essaynya?
Not necessarily. It's basically a way of telling a story about yourself.
Oh iya.
Ya. Jadi harus bisa, if I would say it in simple words, application process itu adalah proses di mana applicants ini, students yang at the time kelas 12 itu jual diri mereka, pitch yourself, you're a salesperson for yourself.
Jadi mereka mau lihat di essay itu bagaimana calon mahasiswa itu untuk merefleksikan dirinya itu kayak bagaimana ya, how best they describe themselves kan begitu kan ya. Gitu.
I think which I think over the years I've also learned is that you should know yourself juga.
Iya, betul.
Dengan you knowing yourself, you know how I best study, how I best.
Yes. Itu yang mereka mau achieve, betul.
That type of maturity tuh perlu banget pas mau masuk.
Oke. Jadi yang kayak gitu-gituan, padahal itu hal kecil ya. Itu kayak model-model kayak entry test gitu ya sebenarnya, tapi bukan multiple choice test. Itu more about like describe yourself test gitu kan ya.
Yes. Tapi some schools juga not necessarily, most essays tuh kayak gitu, tapi some schools juga ada yang nanya stuff like, I can't remember, it didn't happen to me, tapi I know someone told me a very weird, I think it's about, finding X or something. I'm not so sure. I think it was University of Chicago or something. I'm not so sure. I have to validate that, but I know someone said it was more logical than it is qualitative.
Oke.
Creative lah.
Ini visanya gimana? Kalau visa kan dia pakai student visa ya?
After application process. Jadi kan tadi udah ngomongin pre-application ya, which is preparing
SAT,
for SAT, TOEFL, and for the essay.
Yes.
Masuk application. Application is when you start doing the
registration.
Application straightforward juga lah ya. Jadi lu namanya siapa sih, lu lahir kapan, and all that sort of things. Itu application typically deadline-nya banyak banget kan. Ada yang November, ada yang jadi they create, each school to create different deadlines for different batch. Jadi,
gitu.
Lu kalau mau early admission before November, kalau enggak, then our first deadline is December, second deadline is January.
Kayak early bird gitu ya?
Yeah. Jadi I think each school has some sort of quota kan, of new students, new entrants, and you have to do it before each deadlines. I was lucky enough I did it before the end of the year. Jadi by January I received a lot of responses already. Nah, kalau soal visa itu tuh udah jauh. Itu ngurusnya tuh udah bulan Mei apa Juni of the year that I was going to school. Jadi pas udah terima offer, jadi kan mereka offer nih, lu gua accept. Lu mau terima nggak? Because I applied to multiple schools and I'm pretty sure a lot of people out there applied to at least 2-3 schools. Kalau keterima kan dipilih dulu. Oh yaudah deh gue ke sekolah A, gue ke sekolah B. Baru itu we accept the offer online, then kita mulai tuh proses untuk visanya. Jadi you cannot ngurus visa
kalau belum di-apply, kalau belum di-accept ya.
Yes.
Jadi dengan kata lain kita bisa ngurus visa itu harus ada recommendation letter kan dari university-nya itu.
So to speak. Jadi you should show that you're associated dulu ke sekolah tersebut, bahwa you are a student, you are registered, and you have to pay this fee called service fee. Dapat lah dokumen servisnya, terus if I'm not mistaken I-20 comes after that. Lupa sih I-20 before or after, tapi what I know I-20 comes after that, and then in fact I-20 comes after visa. Ini udah lama banget ya, jadi udah lumayan lupa. Tapi I-20 is like your document that you should never miss. Even more important than the pocket money you're gonna bring to the US, I would say. I-20 itu kayak apa namanya? Kayak documentation yang jadi apa namanya? Tapi itu kayak student apa namanya? Kayak student permit kayak gitu ya. Somewhat like that. Tapi it's just a document that says on top of your visa that says I wouldn't say it's a green card. I mean, it's just a card. It's like a document lah for students to know that knows that you're a student.
Yes, that's
on top
correct.
of your visa ya.
Jadi
itu keluar masuknya kan benar-benar dijaga juga. Tiap tahun you have to get it signed.
So basically you don't have to bring your passport to go anywhere, just bring that I-20, right?
I would still bring my passport everywhere. Karena I had a friend when we traveled outside, forgot the passport and all that. Nggak bisa sih. I think passport is still key, but on top of that you still have to have your I-20 when you travel.
Betul, tapi kadang-kadang kan ada orang yang parno kan, wah takut pasportnya jatuh nih atau apa, jadi kebanyakan keep the passport in the safe place, lalu kemana-mana itu kayak I-20 itu kayak KTP lah ya sebenarnya, kalau misalkan bisa dibilang ya.
I wouldn't, not necessarily KTP ya, karena identification juga nanti berbeda. It's not a form of identification, tapi it's just a form of, I think, legal status. If I may put it that way, something like that.
Because I had an experience, but I had an I-95, not I-20. Itu beda lagi. Kalau I-20 for student, I-25 is for pekerja itu. Jadi paspor kita ditahan, kita cuma kemana-mana cuma bawa I-95. Dan itu selalu di-renew. Jadi ya, more or less is just the same practice lah di sana.
Similar ya, iya.
Terus apa namanya, kalau di sana housingnya gimana? Tinggal di mana?
Housing first year sih I went residence hall ya, jadi dorm. Dan dorm yang communal, everything ada roommate, bathroom communal, jadi I think it's a good way to get to know people. Karena kan pas baru masuk ya nggak punya temen ya, jadi semuanya sama-sama masuk, ditinggal aja gitu. Udah, you're by yourself, you don't know. Well, although ada Indonesian community, tapi kan you don't necessarily have friends that you know from home.
Betul.
Tapi being in the dorm, at least you put yourself out there biar ketemu sama orang-orang lain.
Tapi itu same sex resident hall atau different sex?
One wing is all girls, wing sebelahnya all boys. Tapi ketemu di lobby and all that. And rules are very lax. Jadi boys can stay over, girls can stay over.
Iya, karena kan
my second dorm though, my second and third year, I still live in the dorm. I get my own room and my own bathroom. Itu tuh benar-benar nyampur. Jadi tetangga, bahkan my neighbors were all guys from school. And then my third year, there were a couple of ladies, but that was it.
Oke. Soalnya kan kebanyakan orang cuma nonton-nonton di film kan. Wah, kalau di Amerika itu college life tuh kayaknya pretty wild gitu loh. Maksudnya dormitory-nya bisa combine boys and girls, and then they sleep together. Sampai orang kebanyakan mikir, mau kuliah di Amerika? Nggak takut. Nah kan gitu kan, karena mereka based on the movies kayak gitu. Jadi nggak punya gambaran kayak gimana. Jadi ternyata memang some of them true ya. Kalau misalkan yang di
it's true to a certain extent lah, I would say. Karena of course there are set of rules set in each dorms. Tapi again, I think being the land of the free, right? You can be free to do whatever it is that you want as long as it's not against, the set of rules or the set of laws there.
Balik lagi ke kita sendiri sebenarnya kan.
Balik ke orangnya sendiri, yes.
Iya. Terus buku nih. Kalau buku itu gimana?
First year tuh benar-benar beli buku kan. Beli buku kayak mungkin karena kalau di Indonesia buku tuh something yang lumayan affordable.
Iya.
Bisa dibilang. Lu pergi ke Gramedia deh, dapet textbook buat whatever it is you're gonna get. In the States, it's pretty expensive. Tapi for sure I bought it like tuh di Indo, bener-bener beli buku. Then I realized nggak semua profesor tuh pakai the books that they state they're gonna use. Sometimes they summarize it for you. Jadi, or sometimes the professors write the book. So as long as you go to lecture, you don't need to buy their book. Kalau for me, first year I bought the book. Second year, third year, fourth year, nunggu until 1 minggu pertama to see whether bakal lanjut nggak nih ngambil kelas ini atau perlu apa enggak. Jadi nanya profesor pasti, do we really need textbook or ya sendirilah personal judgment. Kayaknya bisa deh tanpa buku. And so not necessarily beli buku. Tapi kalau mau dibilang beli dari mana, within the school itself ada university bookstore and all that. Tapi sometimes for us kalau emang udah habis stok or kalau harga ada yang lebih kompetitif online such as Amazon, then we buy it.
Oke, atau mungkin yang kayak PDF versionnya gitu ya, boleh dibeli ya?
Yeah, sometimes ada yang e-booknya, betul.
Kalau misalkan tinggal di residence hall, makannya gimana?
I'm lucky enough kalau di Purdue tuh we have 5 dining courts.
Oh ya, ada diningnya?
Iya, ada 5 dining courts with each of which serve different menus at every meal time.
Okay.
Some dining courts even open non-stop dari pagi sampai malam. Lumayan convenient depending on your time. Terus kalau the dining court near my place bahkan ada yang to go-nya, on the go. Kita bilangnya on the go. Jadi you can just swipe in, grab it in a to go box and whatnot. Because sometimes we have to eat in front of the class. Sambil nunggu kelas yang sebelum kita mau kelar, udah nunggu makan, jadi langsung masuk.
Oh gitu.
To save time. But we have 5 dining courts, jadi lumayan sih milih-milih kayak kalau misalnya mau Asian food, banyak kan itu ada di this dining court namanya fourth dining hall. Itu bener kayak buffetnya tuh ada you make your pho, ada nasi goreng and all that. Tapi yang standard sih across all dining courts pasti ada saladnya, ada buahnya, ada desserts.
Iya.
And drinks.
Ya karena mereka cuma makan sayur itu ya dari salad. Gak ada yang namanya cah kangkung itu nggak ada di sana kan.
Unless you go to yang fourth ini tuh pasti ada satu tipe masakan
stir fry gitu.
Sayur stir fry, yes.
Gitu.
Itu doang, udah
cuma
gitu.
Itu doang karena ya orang-orang yang kulit putihnya kan cuma makan salad doang.
Misalkan it's more common salad.
Iya. Terus payment untuk makannya itu sudah termasuk dengan residence hall atau itu kreditnya beda? Oh, terus sudah termasuk ya.
Jadi waktu kita I'm not so sure pas apply buat the residence hall pas I think when we apply we have to state how much meals we wanna get. Jadi dia ada paketnya gitu. Kalau kayak ini tuh my first year tuh ngitung itu kan gila, kalau sehari 3 kali berarti 1 minggu tuh 21 kali kan.
Iya betul.
Yaudah deh, I'll get the 20 swipe. Jadi itu kan kita udah di ID card. I think I have my ID card. Jadi in my ID card tuh bisa langsung swipe. Setiap kali mau masuk makan swipe. And berarti kalau 20 meals I can swipe 20 times.
Jadi kayak ada preloadnya gitu ya?
Iya. And on top of that 20 tuh per bulan atau per semester ada sekian banyak dollars, namanya dining dollars that we can use elsewhere on campus for food atau buat laundry or buat beli apa itu bisa pakai juga. Tapi biasanya tuh ada paketan first semester actually beli 20. It's a big mistake karena I don't eat breakfast. I realize sometimes I don't have time to eat dinner or bahkan lunch tuh benar-benar harus makan elsewhere. 20 jauh kebanyakan. Jadi abis itu turun kalau nggak salah beli 15.
Jadi sistem kartu ya, semuanya sudah di preload di kartu. Jadi so convenient juga ya sebenarnya. Very
convenient. Jadi nggak perlu bayar kayak ada tuker duit cash or credit card. Jadi everything is in the ID card. That's why kalau ID card hilang tuh benar-benar repot karena harus ngurus. Although ngurusnya cepat ya, tinggal datang foto langsung dapat. Tapi repotnya itu sih.
Iya, karena mungkin mesti nyisain waktu mau pergi ke sananya, ngurusnya.
And it's typically not just yourself kan. Bisa jadi ada orang lain
Ngantri
belum
juga.
sekolah juga. Kalau udah lapar juga, ya masa iya ya nunggu dulu.
Iya, bener.
Tapi bisa sebenarnya bayar cash, cuman sayang aja gitu. It's already been paid for in the tuition.
Iya.
Why would you wanna pay an extra $11?
Sedangkan duit cashnya bisa dipakai untuk yang lain. Nah, karena di residence hall nih, apa tuh residence hall dengan kampus untuk kelasnya itu jauh nggak? Apakah mesti ada transportation sendiri atau cuma walking distance?
Walking distance itu bisa dibilang relatif karena the campus itself is very big. The campus house, ini I'm talking from Purdue point of view ya. We have about 44,000 students.
Okay.
To tell you how big the campus is an airport and 2 golf courses. So it's that big. My first dorm was itu masih masuk dalam kampus, tapi distance wise from my dorm to my building to the business school is about 1 mile.
1 mile
or
is like
1,5 kilo.
Iya.
Plus minus or even more, something like that. Roughly speaking.
Jadi it's okay lah ya untuk walk
ya. It's okay. Cuman again, I said itu lumayan relatif karena untuk orang Indonesia kan kita jarang banget nih jalan.
Iya.
Mungkin Indonesian from our, ya bisa dibilang juga, gue waktu di Miss juga it's not common for me to walk 1.5 kilos gitu. Especially with a backpack.
Iya. Terus panas-panas lagi ya.
So jadi kalau panas, kalau snow kan it's harder to walk ya.
Iya.
Walking distance wise, of course everything is doable, tapi relatif lah ya. Kalau for me, I walk sih.
What are the choices then? Mau jalan, bus. Oh, ada busnya juga.
Yes, free bus.
Kayak shuttle ya.
Jadi busnya tuh kayak bener-bener bus kota, bus.
Oh, okay.
It goes on a loop across the town, the college town, the campus. Ada multiple different buses. I take the 30. You can take from my place, my first dorm. I can take the 12 bus. I can take the 13 bus.
Okay.
Ada juga. I can't remember if that bus passes through my place, but there's a 1B. There's banyak banget. There's a trolley called the Wabash trolley that I can take too. Jadi there's multiple buses that you can definitely take. You can beli sepeda. I didn't buy a bike karena kalau winter terlalu bahaya, licin. Jangan. Mobil, tapi parking susah.
Iya, bayar lagi ya.
Freshman you don't get parking as I remember. Lottery. Karena banyak
gitu.
banget kan, 44.000 kalau semua dapat main gila kan.
Parking space-nya pasti lebih luas daripada dormitorinya.
Iya, bisa jadi. So, the best option is either to walk, although again, well for me it's walkable, tapi again relatif. Or take the bus. So those are the 2 main options.
Kalau beli sepeda, store di mana sepedanya?
Banyak sih tempat bike buat lock bike outside of the dorm.
Nggak hilang kan?
Ada aja kasus hilang.
Oh ada gitu. Ada maling juga di situ ya? Kirain cuma di Indonesia.
Ya namanya juga kalau anak kuliahan, apalagi kalau Friday night, Thursday night, sometimes you can find your bike on top of a tree. Sometimes it's gone, completely gone. So it depends, right?
Okay.
Tapi emang juga ada bener-bener yang emang ada yang iseng, ada yang emang bener-bener malu.
Menarik
harus
juga.
Hati-hati aja.
Sama kayak di film-film bener ya. Di film-film kan juga ada yang bully begitu kan, suka iseng-iseng lempar di atas pohon.
It's a non-targeted prank. Jadi kayak just do it for fun, I guess. I don't know where the fun part of it is, tapi they just do it.
Siapa tahu nanti ada orang yang iseng itu di semak-semak dia pakai video itu kayak prankster kan. Waduh. Wah.
Gak pernah ngeliat sih, gak pernah ngerasain. Mungkin zaman dulu lagi bilangnya. Mungkin zaman itu belum terlalu it's not something very common. Kalau zaman sekarang kan kayaknya tuh very common deh, those kind of pranks on YouTube kan. But
iya.
Dulu sih nggak pernah ngeliat ada yang apa yang ngerekam terus di post terus fine aja.
Iya.
I think it's just a matter of benar-benar iseng tanpa targets.
Oke. Nah, sekarang pertanyaan selanjutnya nih, bedanya nih waktu di kuliah dengan waktu masa-masa SMA nih. Kira-kira tuh yang bikin beda banget itu apa? Atau ada similar things yang juga bisa dilihat dari SMA dengan kuliah?
Kalau mau dibilang similar, I think it's similar in a sense that you should always put your 100% into studying kan. And maybe not necessarily just studying, but to school. Jadi benar-benar tetap harus belajar, tetap get involved in school, involved in all these different activities, extracurricular gitu kan. That stays the same. The only difference is that you don't have your parents, you're alone gitu. You don't have your parents, you don't have your guardians or your mungkin if you still have a nanny at home to tell you kayak jam makan, jam ini, lu jam segini udah harus balik, jam segini udah harus kerjain ini. You miss those, then you miss it. No one's gonna tell you to, or no one's gonna be there to wake you up at 7 in the morning to go to school. No one's gonna. If you don't want to cook, if you live out the campus, or if you don't want to walk to dining part, ya lu nggak makan. The only difference is sendiri gitu. Tapi in essence, you should put as much effort, if not more, than what you did in high school. Karena sama aja, you're there to study, you're there to improve yourself, to grow kan. And it needs that push. Tapi kalau dulu bedanya di SMA ada juga nih yang di samping yang nge-push juga kan. Makan, jam belajar harus ngerjain PR.
Kalau di college nggak ada.
College nggak ada.
Betul.
You should find your help by yourself by going to office hours, or by asking help from someone, or kalau emang niat untuk tutor, bayar tutor. Tapi you have to find it yourself dan cari sendiri. Kalau di SMA kan paling pengen ini nih, mau belajar ini kayaknya ini susah, atau kadang-kadang your parents will do it for you to find it. I think you need extra help on this nih, gue kasih lu les di sini deh. Tapi in college, no one's gonna tell you that necessarily. You have to do it yourself.
And we need to think through everything by ourselves kan ya. Nggak ada yang bakal mikirin, nggak ada yang bakal musing.
Atur waktu, atur kesehatan, semuanya atur sendiri sih. It's the independence, especially jauh ya. Itu tuh I think it's a lot more responsibility on your end.
That's the essential difference dari college dengan high school kan ya. Jadi self management itu sangat penting kan. Penting
banget. Beda banget pokoknya. On that front, purpose-nya sama, beda on that management.
Oh gitu.
So that's the biggest difference I would say.
Jadi emang kita harus, kalau yang mau kuliah jauh apalagi udah mulai mempersiapkan mental dan berlatih self management ya dari jauh-jauh hari, supaya nggak sampai kaget nanti kan, kok begini gitu. Mana mama nih, mama kok nggak ada nih, biasa ada yang bangunin nih kayak gitu.
I think partly juga harus banyak research ya, karena I think when you manage things yourself kan banyak juga hal yang baru yang you have to manage kan.
Iya betul.
Kalau I need help, misalkan need tutor, where do I go to sih? Itu you need to harus banyak research juga sendiri, karena I think that would help you in managing yourself. Misalkan kayak I think I need a car or something untuk go to school karena tinggalnya off campus, then you research how do I get a car, how do I get driver's license to begin with, or something like that. I think
you can you can get driver license.
We can. Tapi I think partly that will help you, because it helped me a lot, was researching. Jadi kayak researching, which bus takes me to the supermarket? I know I have to take it myself. I know harus manage myself, harus minum banyak air, harus makan teratur. Tapi then how do I get there? You have to research. I think researching, getting to know mau kemana sih. I mean, your tujuan nanti kuliah di mana, mau kemana-mananya tuh udah tahu, resourcesnya udah tahu di mana. Research that. I think it helps you a lot in managing yourself when you're already there.
Ngebantu nggak kalau misalkan ada teman di situ? Maksudnya, jadi kita bisa kemana-mana bareng gitu loh. Dia pergi kemana, gue ikut dong, pengen tahu aja nih, supaya besok-besok gue kalau misalkan ke situ gue tahu gitu.
Ngebantu banget. I think the one plus with Purdue is that di Purdue itself, komunitas Indonesianya mau dibilang gede sih sebenarnya nggak gede-gede banget compared to the Chinese or the Indian community. Tapi kita tuh quite big international student community ya, ada sekitar 100-an lebih.
Itu banyak itu.
Indian students, itu lumayan banyak. Dan biasanya ada kakak kelas sih, kalau datang tuh dijemput lah. Dianterin ke sini, tuh pengen beli ini. Ya first 2 weeks masih dianterin, tapi abis itu kayak
you take care yourself lah ya.
No lah. They expect you to be able to manage your stuff.
Oh, good to know ya. Berarti kalau misalkan ke sana, at least in the first 2 weeks, ada yang bisa guide kita mau kemana, how to get there, terus apa aja yang mesti dibawa. Bagus juga.
Betul. And typically, kalau kayak dari Purdue itself, talking from a Purdue perspective, and my experience, biasanya once you accept, kita juga, our names tuh get relayed to the respective student organization.
And they will contact you gitu.
Atau ke alumni association. I'm currently in the alumni association juga kan. Kadang-kadang itu kita tahu, oh ada sekian banyak students yang mau masuk in the coming fall.
Oke.
For us, alumni association, sebelum kita ke sana, kita sama perniasnya Purdue biasanya bikin session di sini juga, onboarding. Kita bantu mereka. Jadi kayak kemarin CEO-nya 1000 Lancer sempat ngobrol dengan mereka, give some sort of like motivational speaking session lah ya. Terus kita juga bantu mereka dengan kalau ada pertanyaan gitu. Oh nanti kalau di sana lu kalau kayak gini, this is who you should contact and whatnot. Dan itu juga partly a big role of pernias. Pernias sampai di sana juga nanti mereka bantu urus. For the first few weeks pasti dapat bantu.
Jadi kalau misalkan ada orang yang minat mau ke Purdue, nanti kalau misalkan kontak alumni association yang ada di Indonesia, itu nanti bakal dibantu semua dong.
Boleh dong. Kita jadi we will help you connect to the right people that can help you.
Oke.
Karena kan yang bakal bantu di sana necessarily us, tapi it's more of the pernias.
Iya betul.
That were there. Kan. Jadi maybe they can ask your questions, they can answer your questions with more relevant answers. Karena contohnya ya gue aja udah 10 tahun yang lalu.
Iya.
People in the alumni association ada yang 20 tahun, 30 tahun, bahkan 40 tahun yang lalu.
Iya.
In which the campus itself tiap tahun berubah kan.
Betul. So they have more relevant answers ya.
Betul. Tapi kita bisa bantu connect you to those people.
Oke. Tapi free of charge gak nih kalau misalkan minta bantuan?
Iya dong. Iya dong. Ya kalau salam tempel boleh lah.
Buka agen gitu.
Of course lah. Kita kan we're just here to help and would always be happy lah to get more people to go to our alma mater.
Jadi kan jadi kebanggaan sendiri kan semakin banyak orang yang ada.
Benar.
Iya betul itu.
Biar di Indo ada yang namanya Purdue Mafia juga, nggak cuma USC Mafia or Harvard Mafia nickname-nya kan.
Ya, iya, jadi lebih banyak nanti yang pakai kaos-kaus Purdue di jalan kan.
Iya dong.
Nggak, biar bukan cuma ngeliat di Facebook doang kan. Lihat Facebook.
Iya dong. Yang benar-benar ada relation of anything to Purdue.
Oke. Charlene, thanks banget ya udah mau sharing-sharing tentang kuliah di Purdue University. Gila banyak banget nih sharingnya.
Sorry for the technical difficulties earlier.
Oke, thank you Charlene.
Okay. Sure, thank you.